So this is a complex issue, and I'm trying to think just how deep I want to get into this topic. Affordable housing oftentimes gets wrongly lumped into the same category as low-income housing. And the concept of affordable housing is very, very complex in terms of the types of income that it would be attractive to, or not even attractive, the types of income payers that would even be eligible for that type of housing. So an affordable housing project could have something like a 20% market rate. So 20% of the apartments are set aside at market rate, 60% are set aside at 80% of average median income, and I'm trying to remember what I got left, 30% or 40% is at 50% of average median income. Well, if you do the math on what 50% of the average median income is, or 60 or 80%, those are first-year teachers, social workers, I would guess probably folks going into the media, right? They're professional, they have income, but they may not be able to afford a market rate apartment in downtown Davenport because those rates are quite high. And so, I guess my first comment is affordable does not necessarily mean low income. And there is a place for low income too, low income housing as well. And the city does play a role in that. I think there are quality, reputable firms, probably both locally and nationally, but I know for sure nationally, that specialize in leveraging all of the tax credits that are available, both state and federal, to build high quality affordable housing projects that have great property managers. They do beautiful things with the landscape. So they do a complete project. It's not just housing. They do the housing, they do the landscaping, they build dog parks, they do have little neighborhood parks for the facility that they've built. So I know some of those folks. I would like to partner with some of those folks. And I've said this before, I think that one of the most critical aspects of making affordable housing work is quality property management. You need property management that either lives in the building or certainly lives close and is in town, so that when issues arise, we have access to them, we know how to get a hold of them, and we can get them on site in a matter of minutes to help the city resolve whatever problem it is they're trying to deal with.
We have, in the Quad Cities itself, over 6,000 units that we need that we don't have. So we have a serious housing deficit, whether it's affordable or not for housing. So, one, we cannot afford to lose one unit that we already have. Every unit is precious. One of the reasons why I believe we're losing units is because the landlords, not all of them, but they are not keeping their units up. They're not keeping their properties up. We just lost 2 full buildings of units to demolition that city taxpayers paid for a private developer. He did not take care of his buildings. We have that all over the city. So it's not just the dream project. We need to put the responsibility back on the owners of these to make sure that they are taking care of what they have. 2, I believe we need to vet our developers better. I'm very tired of seeing beautiful drawings and designs for a particular property, then it not happen, and then the property goes up for sale. I believe we need to have a timeline. If we are going to give incentives to developers for housing, we need to have a timeline for when they need to start and when they need to be done, recognizing contingencies. Because right now, like the Hostess, the luxury apartments in the Continental, that's probably going to have to be torn down. That's been sitting there for years and nothing has happened. We cannot accept that kind of business model from our developers. They've got to come in, they've got to have some skin in the game, they have to have a timeline. We have to have some way to make sure that they meet that timeline or have some kind of fine or losing benefits that we've given them, we're losing incentives. Because we cannot keep having this, we're gonna do great things, and then the land goes up for sale. We've got the same thing going on at the empty Y lot. What's going on up at the old Davenport Hotel up on 53rd? These have been empty for so long, and we could be using them. But we're not incentivizing for use of empty lots, and then we're not enforcing our codes and our developers as well as I believe we should be. And of course, we need to work with our sister cities.